Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to do the short transfer combo. Now after I walk you through the steps, I'll show you 4 different ways to end the combo, and I'll have slow motions at the end of all of that. Now I showed this combo off recently in a YouTube short, and I got some comments saying that they want to see slow-mos and a tutorial, so here you go. Just 2 things I want to get out of the way because I might get comments about them is number 1, the Balisong I'm using today is the Squid Industries Squidtrainer V4 with the Zippy insert in the blade to silence the ring. The second one is this Band-Aid is not because of a Balisong related injury, but I was loosening my camera stand to put it away and it came sliding down and it pinched my finger and broke the skin and I started bleeding. So yeah, flipping with a Band-Aid is not fun. Anyway, let's get into it. You're gonna start with the first half of the behind the 8 ball. So that would be the index chaplain to the thumb chaplain. So yeah, what you're gonna do is flick the knife out while you're lifting up your index, inserting it, throwing it around the index and bring your thumb around so you can go right into the thumb chaplain. You're going to throw that thumb chaplain around like that. And so it's going to go into that. And that looks like that more smoothly. And you're going to grab it into this position where normally you would throw into the thumb rollover. But instead what you're going to be doing is you're going to be flicking the knife around and kind of following this momentum and gripping it between these 3 fingers and kind of lifting your wrist up to swing it around till it's vertical like this, in which case you would be flicking it over. What we're actually going to do for the transfer is you're going to, as you go to whip it over, you're going to take your other hand and you're going to bring it down, just like that. Now, a couple of things to note, because you're going to be whipping the Balisong up and simultaneously inserting your hand. It may be easier if instead of moving your hand straight forward, to move your hand kind of down. So as you're swinging the Balisong up, it gives you more time to insert your hand before the blade makes contact. Because if you go straight forward, you may end up going like that. It's just going to be a little bit harder to time if you try and go straight forward and you may hit the blade. Okay, so you're starting from here again. So as you're getting ready to swing it up, you're going to insert your hand here and let the spine of the blade hit the back of your hand. Once you do that, that's when you go for the grab and go into the next part. But I want to take this time to point something out. Now, this is an opinion, but I personally think it looks much cooler for any transfer if your offhand stays where it normally is, and then right when you're going to go do the transfer, then you come in with it. I think that the tendency is often you know that you're about to do the transfer, so your hand kind of hovers right here and then it's right there, which makes it easier. And so when you're learning it, you know it's okay to do that, but I think it'll make the transfer look a lot cooler, more surprising if you come in at the last second like that. So to get back into it, what you're gonna do is you're swinging your hand up and inserting it like that. You're gonna grab the spine and the bite handle together. And this next movement, take your main hand, you're gonna swing it around like so, 180 degrees. And then you're gonna take it and you're gonna bring it around your thumb as you open up your left hand. And then once again, this is going to be a combined effort. You're going to swing the safe handle down as you grip the Balisong right here in this part of your hand between your thumb and your palm. Not really, it's like the side of your palm. What you're going to do is you're going to push down with the handle while gripping it and flicking your wrist forward to have the knife open up. And you have to do all 3 of those things to get the knife to successfully open up, which is flicking down with the handle, gripping it, and moving your wrist down like that. And so let's see that all again, but kind of slow. So the first half of the behind the 8 ball, bring your hand in, and then flick it down. So that's the first transfer. Now to do the second one and finish the behind the 8 ball after that. So what you're gonna do is you're going to bring your hand around and flip the bally up. Same as before, I recommend flipping the bally up and then bringing your hand down as opposed to bringing your hand and then initiating the flip. I think it looks cooler. But yeah, so you're gonna flick it up and grab the spine of the blade and the bite handle. The next movement is pretty simple. You're just gonna rotate the Balisong between these 2 hands like so and get into this position. Now, from here, you have 4 different options. And I'm gonna teach you the one I showed you in the intro first, because this is the purest form of just finishing the second half of the behind the 8 ball. What you're gonna do from here is you're going to just let go of this handle. And then it's kind of a weird, awkward movement to describe, but you're basically using this part of your hand, like this part of your hand right here, to kind of push on the pivots like that. And as you can see it moves this handle out and this handle out away from the blade, which spreads it apart so that way you can go into that thumb rollover. So you do that, and then you just throw the thumb rollover and the wrist pass to close. Side note, you could do your wrist pass like this, or you can do your wrist pass like this, where you lift up your hand like that and have the handle swing around and then close it like that, which ends up in this position as opposed to this position, which honestly, I think it looks a little bit cooler. as opposed to that. But it's personal preference. Okay, so here's the 4 variations back to back. Here's the first one. Now the second one, basically the same, but with an extra spin. And now here's the third one, going to the thumb chaplain. And finally, the last one, which is going to the thumb chaplain, but with an extra spin beforehand. There's a couple things to note for these. If you're gonna do the 3 other than the first way I showed you, when you go to do this transfer, because this handle is gonna swing around, you definitely wanna throw it around with your offhand. Now, some tips about getting into the other variations and how to distinguish between them is if I'm gonna do one of the thumb chaplain versions, the mental cue that I use is feeling the balisong, the spine of the handle on this part of my finger as it's coming around. Once I feel that, then I know that I can move into like the okay position for the behind the 8-ball and finish off the trick like that. Now, if I'm viewing the other way where it goes right to the thumb roll, I find that I'm feeling the weight of the balisong on this area of my hand because I'm kind of moving my thumb and this part of my hand to get the balisong handle to kind of lift up so you can go into a thumb rollover. Now, if you enjoyed this combo transfer tutorial, then you're definitely not going to want to miss this one. Check out the video here next.